Hi guys, very welcome to Mentour, yet another video podcast. As always, I hope you're all doing fantastic. So, I am midway through my vacation at the moment, and I thought that it's way too long since I made a video for my friends out there. So I hope you guys have missed me, because here it comes, the next one. And today's topic is, do pilots ever get nervous? Right, this is a question that I'm getting surprisingly often on my YouTube videos. And the quick answer to that is yes, of course pilots get nervous. We're human just like everyone else. When I was about to propose to my now wife, I was really nervous. And I was nervous for my license skill tests. There's been a lot of times where I have been nervous. But I guess that what you've actually been asking is, do pilots get nervous when they work? And the answer to that is yes, but it's not what you think, right? Pilots tend to get nervous at work about 3 times per year. They get nervous for their operator proficiency check, their license proficiency check, and their line check. Okay, these are the checks that all the pilots have to go through every year to make sure that they are fit to do their work. And no one really likes being, not questioned, but being evaluated on the professionalism. Okay, and whenever you know that you are going to be subjected to a test, it's kind of human to become a bit nervous. Some people get really nervous for the simulator, and some people get less nervous, but everyone tends to get just a little bit of butterflies in the stomach. Now, it's not actually, we shouldn't really be that nervous, okay? Because even if we would fail, if you have gotten your job and you would fail a license proficiency check, for example, the airline would just evaluate what kind of retraining you need to go through, and then they would train you in the areas needed. It might be engine failure after takeoff that you need to practice a bit more or something like that. And once they have trained you up to the proficiency needed, you would do a recheck. And if you're within limits, then you would just go back online. All right. So, but we really want to perform well, so people tend to get a little bit nervous. Now, I'm guessing that wasn't actually what you guys were wondering. You were wondering whether or not we get nervous when we are going out for a day of flying. Now, I'm going to try to explain that in a way that makes sense for someone who hasn't been flying. Okay. Let's say that you work in a supermarket, or you work in an electronic shop, for example, selling electronics. You go to work every day, you know that there's about 200 to 300 customers that you're going to be dealing with during the day. But on one specific weekend, there's going to be a flash sale. There's going to be a reduction in prices in your shop. So you know that on that day, there's going to be not hundreds, but maybe thousands of customers. Right. Would you get nervous for that? Or would you just feel like, maybe I need to sleep well before this day? Right, it's a question that's worth asking, isn't it? Because this is essentially how pilots deal with things, all right? So if me, for example, if I am sitting in my sofa the day before a flight and I'm watching TV and I see that there's a big storm coming in over the English islands, and I know I'm going to be flying to London tomorrow, then I'm not going to get nervous, but I will probably take my mobile phone up and check the aviation weather to see, what is the terminal area forecast saying. We tend to have 18 or even 24 hours of good forecasts available to us. See what, is this going to be close to the limits? How bad is this going to be? And what kind of alternates do I have? So I would start to prepare already the day before. And I will probably go into work a little bit earlier the following day, because I know that, all right, this is going to be potentially a very challenging day, so I better give myself some extra time to find good alternates, to talk to my first officers, to decide, how are we going to deal with this day, and so on. So would I get nervous? No. Would I tense up a little bit and be a bit more focused? Yes. And that's exactly how pilots, and as always, I'm talking for myself here, I can't talk for everyone else, but this is how I tend to deal with things when I know that it's going to be challenging. The next question is, which I'm also guessing that you guys want to know, is, do we get nervous if something goes wrong? Now, that is a bit harder to know, actually, because it's going to be up to you how you are as a person. And some people get nervous when under pressure. I would like to think, and I know that in my case I've had a few things that's gone wrong, technical things that's gone wrong, and I tend to get more focus when it happens, because that's when the training kicks in. This is why it's so important that you guys who are about to enter training or are inside of a type rating or inside of a training course right now, realize that the training that you guys are doing is essential. Okay, it's really, really important that you really spend time understanding what it is that you're studying, understanding, for example, in the type rating, why we need to know what the correct names are for the quick reference handbook checklists. Those are the emergency checklists. Why we need to know the technical details of the aircraft. Because when things go wrong, that's when the training really kicks in. And that's when you become, the times that has happened to me, when we have, for example, some kind of minor technical or bigger technical malfunction, or when you have someone getting sick on board and things like that, you refer back to what you know, what you've learned before, and you become more focused at the task in hand. And you make sure that you involve all the crew members, that the communication is working well, that decision-making skills are there, that you speak to your first officer, you speak to the cabin crew, you make good PAs to the passengers, so make sure that everyone involved knows what's going on, and that you're using the correct checklists, and that you're evaluating whether those checklists are actually working. So, do we get nervous before it happens? Of course not, because we don't know that it's going to happen. Do we get nervous, or do I get nervous when it's happening? No, because you become so focused on trying to solve the problem that you don't have time to be nervous. You might be a bit tense, absolutely. You might feel in your stomach that that you really have to perform now, but nervous as in shaking hands and so on, hopefully not. Because you're now working on trying to solve the problem, and only once you are down on the ground and the situation has been solved, and the passenger was sick, is being taken care of, or the technical problem is being looked at by the engineers, only then can you look back. And most of the time when you look back, you look back and like, oof, that was intense, but I'm really glad that I did pay attention during my type rating, or that I did read up on those systems, because I really needed it this time. And that's also a good time to recap what happened. So it's always a good idea that if something does go wrong or something does happen, that you gather up your crew afterwards and you have a discussion, a debriefing with your cabin crew and with your first officer, talking about, was there something, how did you feel that it went? Was there something we could have done differently? Did the cabin crew feel that they were part of the decision-making process, that everyone felt like we were handling the situation in the best possible way? So it's always good to do a bit of a debriefing in order for you to learn from whatever experience that you've had. And also, we always make a report, and this is also very important. Anytime something like this has happened, whatever it might be technical, might be medical, that there's a report filed. Normally in your airline there will be a reporting system. So you go in, you file that, and it's getting filed both to the authorities and to the airline, so that everyone can learn from whatever it is that happened. That is how we push the safety work forward in the airline industry. We learn from everything, and every mistake that's being made is not good, obviously, but we can all learn from them. Even if something was done really well, people can learn from it. So it's important that you do good and accurate reporting after an incident. So guys, that's at least my answer to if pilots get nervous. I hope that makes sense to you guys, and as always I hope that you're all doing fantastic. Now I just wanted to mention as well that I am doing a summer sale on my application, Mentor 360. So make sure you go into our website, www.mentor360.com, and if you thought that it was expensive before, then take your chance now. I'm going to have it down to €2 for a couple of weeks. And also, if you really want an immersive experience and really want to feel like you're part of the flight crew together with me and Holly, then you get yourself a virtual reality headset, a pair of headphones, you get in, you watch the briefing videos first, and then you watch the individual exercises. And I am working on new material, guys, so soon, my friends, soon it will be there. For now, have a fantastic day. I hope that you're doing fantastic as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.